Hey guys, it's me Dory. Today I wanted to do just a quick video going over the new Shugo Chara 20th Anniversary Edition versus the original Del Rey release. So I've been trying to think of some ideas for shorter form videos, and since the 20th Anniversary Edition just came out, and I also own the original Del Rey release, I decided I would just show off some quick version differences for anybody who was curious. Maybe as someone who has the original Del Rey release and is on the fence about double dipping for the new release, or for anyone who's just curious about the quality of the 20th Anniversary Edition. Shugo Chara was a series that I initially got into when I was in high school, and I really liked Peach Pit's art style. I had actually previously read Deers from them before getting into Shugo Chara, and on top of that, it's a very well-known magical girl series. So it's a series I eventually had wanted to complete at some point, which luckily I was able to about 6 or 7 years ago. Now, because of this new edition, the singles are completely out of print, and later volumes, especially volume 12, go for quite a bit. So for anybody who's finally wanted an opportunity to be able to pick up Shugo Chara at a decent price, this 20th Anniversary Edition is definitely a must-have. Also with the addition of the new sequel that just came out as well, Jewel Joker, which I will show that off real quick at the end of the video. But yeah, without rambling on too much, I will do a quick showcase here. So Shugo Chara in English was originally released by Del Rey back in 2007, and they released the first 9 volumes before Kodansha took over Del Rey and proceeded to license the rest of the series. So thankfully it did get a complete release. Since Kodansha is also releasing the 20th Anniversary Edition, I was curious if they were going to keep the same translation, but they actually did not, and I will get into that in just a moment. One thing to note about the Del Rey singles is that they do not actually include color pages, which not too many series by Del Rey did include color pages. I know XXX Holic did, but that's the only one that I can recall. The Shugo Chara 20th Anniversary Edition does include each of the original covers, and also includes various color pages. These are actually color pages for some of the individual chapters. So this one right here on the right is actually the color page for Chapter 2. So it is just included in the beginning instead of including it in the actual chapter. And that is also the same with the other color pages here. So all the color pages for the actual chapters themselves are included at the beginning. And I just absolutely love the use of colors on this page. And each separation of each volume includes that volume's original cover as well. And the beginning color page of that chapter. One new addition to the 20th Anniversary Edition is 4-panel gag manga, which looks to be originally based off of the Shugo Chara-chan manga. And this also includes an illustration gallery and notes from the authors themselves, kind of similar to an art book, which I do have the original art books, but they are in Japanese only, so getting these additional notes from the authors is really nice. And at the end here is another inclusion that's exclusive to this edition, with new art. Now, if you were paying attention to the first page that I showed off from each version, the translation is different. So in terms of the actual translation notes, these are actually different as well. This Mushi Champ translation was included in both versions, but the Kanto area schools translation actually was only included in the Del Rey version. The Kanto translation is present in the 20th Anniversary version, but there is no additional translation note included for that. So the translation notes for both versions are different. Some can be just minor things depending on how the translators decided to translate certain parts, like this Dolly's comment here. But overall, both pages of translation notes in each book are different. Like this I won't be able to wash my hair tonight one was not included as a translation note in the original Del Rey release. Or right here, the 20th Anniversary Edition took the extra liberty of explaining Sue having an interesting speech quirk in her dialogue. So yeah, for anybody curious about the translation notes, I figured I'd just point that out real quick. And that's it for the subject of translation notes. So overall, that's all I really have to note specifically about the version differences. This isn't really a review too much of the manga itself. because I need to actually do a thorough reread of the series before I actually go into that. But I would say if you're even a little interested in Shugo Chara, or like any of Peach Pit's other works, like Rose and Maiden, which is also currently being released in its new edition, or you enjoy Magical Girl series, then the Shugo Chara 20th Anniversary Edition is, I would say, a decent pickup. The 20th Anniversary Edition is actually based off of the original Japanese new edition that came out about 5 years ago. So the title of 20th Anniversary Edition is exclusively for English. Other than that, I assume its release is exactly the same as the Japanese version. In total, there should be 6 overall volumes, with 2 volumes included each. So I would say a complete release in English would probably finish up by the beginning of next year. I would hope so. Don't quote me on that, I don't actually know. But following manga release dates, that seems pretty accurate. And that's all I have to say for these versions specifically. But as a quick bonus, I did want to show off the sequel series here. So here's Shugo Chara Jewel Joker, which the first volume came out in Japanese, I believe, last year. So far there's only been 3 volumes released, so I'm assuming the English side is going to catch up pretty quick. I have not actually read this yet. I only got these just a few days ago. And it is a bit of an interesting release considering that it is a direct sequel to Shugo Chara, so if you haven't read the series before, there'd be no value in reading it until you finish Shugo Chara itself. But if you know for sure that you're going to complete getting Shugo Chara, then you might as well pick up the sequel as well. But as for any notes on Jewel Joker itself, it is a larger size trim, so it will fit perfectly next to the 20th Anniversary Edition. And there are color pages just included in the very beginning of the book here. And as for the art itself, absolutely phenomenal as always. And there look to be pretty thorough translation notes here in this version as well. So yeah, that'll be it on my video for the Shugo Chara version differences. I already have a video idea planned for all of the different Cardcaptor Sakura English version differences, since I do own all of them. And I'm hoping to eventually do manga reviews soon, as I probably said in a different video. But I'm just kind of going where the wind takes me at this point, so we'll see. So if you stuck around to the end here, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!